Hello guys, welcome to the mad cray shrimp room. Right, today's video is going to be about what I'm going to do when I go on holiday. Let me just rephrase that for people that can't understand my Scottish. Today we shall be doing a video on me preparing my shrimp tanks for holiday mode. Does that make sense? I hope so. Right, so today guys, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do because I'm going to go away for a couple of days. And I really don't trust anyone with my shrimp tanks. It would be different if there was a shrimp keeper locally that could help me with like feeding and all this kind of stuff, but there's not. I don't really trust family members to feed my tanks because I've left tanks to family members before and they've killed lots and lots of animals, right? So that was a separate thing. That was like discus a long time ago. My brother, if you're watching, never forgiven you for that, for killing all my discus. He overfed a tank and he more or less put all the food in for the whole. I was away for 3 weeks. He put all the food in all at once thinking that would do. And it killed everything. Right, so I don't want that to ever happen again. I want my shrimp to be healthy, good condition, etc. The breeding might slow down a little bit. I would imagine female shrimp getting buried, as an example, that would kind of slow down as well, right? So things I'm going to do in preparation, right, is do your water changes obviously the day before you go away, not the day you go away. You kind of be busy if you did that. But so do your water changes, clean your tanks, etc. Be prepared as possible. It's also what I find a good thing to do is the actual day you go away in the morning or whenever it is, feed them that day, right? And do your water changes, etc. I know I'm blethering guys, but oh my god, this camera, it's only a wee thing but it's so effing heavy. Right, so as I said, we're going to prepare our thingamajigs. My god, I'm not half blethering today. It's almost like I'm on drugs. I wonder if I am. I could be. Right, so we are going to prepare the tanks. How many times have I said that now? 3 times. Prepare the tanks. Tell me, Mark, tell me more of your interesting stories. So this is what I do. You guys should do this as well because it's an excellent way to feed your shrimp. Right? So the best way to possibly feed your shrimp would be some kind of time-lapse thing where you feed them food and they're able to eat it over time. Right? So this is where this type of feeding is awesome. You better give me a like and a thumbs up or I'll come to your shrimp room and I'll curse them saying no more breeding. That tank, no more breeding. Right, so grab yourself a bucket. Let me turn you around. Whoop. Grab yourself a bucket. I've just turned that tap on. It wasn't already on, guys. Trust me. And we're going to go and get some water. We're going to need a few litres of water. Now, I'm not really that bothered using tap water for this kind of thing. Just make sure it's a little bit warm. Here in Norway, with it being the summer, the water is a tiny bit warm anyway, even on cold. It's not from the boiler, it's from the mains is warmer than normal. I've been taking showers lately with this water, as cold as it can be. And I'm like, oh my god, it's so good. So put your water in. We are actually going to use the leaves, right? And we're going to use them a different way than we'd normally use them. Slightly different way. You could do it this way normally if you wish. But all we need is enough water here to cover the leaves. Right, so in the tank looking gorgeous. I actually shut off the light on this for a little while because it was green. I took the light off it for a couple of weeks and look at it now, it's just awesome. Isn't it just cool? Right, so your leaves can be anything. Indian almond leaves, banana leaves, whatever you can get your hands on, right? As long as it's just a dry, coarse, fibrous material, right? So we have like 12 tanks, something like that, right? So get your leaves out, roughly counting them. These are nicely stripped. Not like that, guys. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's do a couple extra just to show you. So there's 12. Right, let's get these in here. And of course they won't sink. Of course they won't sink, Mark. Calm down. Right. Put them in like this. Let me just dry my hand. And then use your bacterial product. I'm going to use Pure Nordic Nutridust because it is absolutely one of the finest biofilm builders I've ever used. It's actually very noticeable. People that use this tell me this as well. If you use this within a couple of days, it's actually quite visible, the biofilm in the glass. Right, so we're going to put in a few heaped scoops. Oh my god. Mark forgot he had Graves' disease. It's not a good idea to show him trying to hold spoons when he's shaking so much. It's so hard to do. I'm going to put about 3 in. Please don't spill it. Let me just quickly rinse that in the tank. Oops, see it all coming off there? Okay, I know I'm blathering a bit today. Right, and just give it a little mix. Make sure it's sunk. Soaked in, sunk. I think there's probiotics in there as well. There's also different types of bacteria. I know there's yeast as well. And it will be activated by the water. And it will stick onto these leaves, right? And over time, it's actually very noticeable as well, guys, right? When you know, like, I'm doing this a week before, just to show you guys. You know, by the time a week comes, then I go on my little vacation. These leaves will be covered in slime. They'll be absolutely covered, right? And then what you're actually doing, right, is when you're adding your leaves, you're not just adding the leaf, you're adding biofilm as well, right? And biofilm is really high in things like protein and sheatin, as an example, right? And of course it will have algae and stuff on it as well, right? And because it's in this kind of form where it's ingrained into something that's decomposing, it will last quite a bit longer in the tank as well, right? And because it's biofilm, it's not really going to pollute your tank either. See, biofilm's just amazing, right? So we'll leave this for about 5 days and we'll come back. It is the day before we go away for our little trip, and I thought today, guys, I would show you, apart from the trick with the biofilm, I thought I'd show you the other things that I also do, right? Because it's important that you prepare for things that are going to happen in your tanks while you're gone, right? And one of these is a simple thing called evaporation, right? So the thing you can do to counter this is simply top the tank up more than you would normally top up, alright? So let me quickly show you that. We have my arrow bucket here. It has been on for 24 hours, filled up, circulated, oxygen going through it. This is pure arrow water. And there, here we have it here, you can see. I did some water changes yesterday, and today this one, the water will be filling up way above that pump there, right? Because I didn't quite fill it up enough yesterday. So we have plenty of arrow water today, right? So other tanks like this as well will be topped up. Anything I can top up to save on evaporation on the way back, that's what we'll do. You can see the hole here away at the top here, so we're going to fill this all the way up to the top. And I plan to do that with all the tanks. Some of them I did water changes on yesterday, but I don't think it's quite the big huge deal to hurry and rush to do water changes, and because I'm only going to be going away for 5 days, I wouldn't normally do a water change for at least a week or two anyway, right? So 5 days is nothing. In the grand scheme of water change things, it is nothing, right? As long as you remember to top up your tanks. The other thing you probably should look for is filters that have sponges on them where they're starting to collapse on themselves, right? And what I mean by that, guys, is when a filter, it gets so full of junk, it actually gets sucked in on itself like this, and it really restricts the flow, right? So that's another thing that you should look for before you go. Check your sponges. I did a few of these yesterday. I did this one yesterday because the flow had almost stopped. This one has almost stopped as well. So these are ones that I will clean today as well, right? So I did a few of them over here too. This one was done yesterday, and this one was done yesterday, right? So I don't think I actually have a tank where I can show you what it actually looks like, because I did a few of them yesterday. You can kind of see it on this one a little bit. You see how the sponge is sucked in? The other ones are even worse, actually. What I do with my double sponge filters, guys, is I only ever clean one of them at a time. So I think I did this one last week, but this one has quite the turnover of water on it, and the other one wasn't done for like a month or something, but you can see it. These sponges are always worse in tanks with an active substrate as well, because as the shrimp feed, they're throwing up debris into the air and it's sucked into the sponges. Alright, so the other thing that you can do is pre-plan your feeding schedule like we're already doing with the shrimp, but I thought I'd mention it as well for the snails. I have bigger snails in some of my tanks as well, right? And one of the good foods that you can feed them is cucumber. Just cut off a big slice like this, put it in. It doesn't pollute the tank, and your snails will eat it over a few days. So that is their holiday food. What else can we talk about here? I also have crayfish, which will also be getting a piece of cucumber. Let me quickly show you that, guys, because this tank is getting on really, really nice. I was going to do this tank with PVC pipes, but I thought it just doesn't look very nice. It doesn't look natural, right? So this looks much, much better. I did notice the crayfish in here are starting to eat this plant quite badly at the top, so we have decided that we're going to give them a big bit of cucumber as well. I'm going to put in a few halibut pellets as well. That should be enough for them for a few days. I know it looks like there's nothing in here, but if you look closely, you can just see them hiding. One up there, one up here as well. You see it? Aren't they cool? Right, so let's go back onto our normal shrimp and what they will eat. And it's basically biofilm and leaves, as we said, right? So here is the end product of that thing that we did the other day, where we prepared our leaves and we added a bacterial supplement. You can quite clearly see it on here. You see, I can actually see the biofilm in the leaves as well. Let's see if we can just move this out the way. You might be able to see it. Oh, it is like, it's super slimy, guys. You guys can probably see the biofilm and slime on this that's falling off. Let me see if I can lift this up. You can. It looks kind of like snot. It's come out your nose. That's what it looks like. And this has been in here for about 5 days, right? So this is what I'll put in the tanks tomorrow. But just to give you guys an idea of what it will look like when you put it in the tanks, the shrimp will eat all of the stuff that's on it. Probably within a day or two. It's so slimy, guys. They'll probably eat it within a day or two, and then they'll start to eat the leaf itself. Okay, so let me see. I don't think I've fed any of these tanks today, but I want to pick a tank where you're going to see maximum shrimpage. Because, you know, guys, we are shrimpaholics. So this tank is absolutely bursting at the seams with the Blue Bolt's Blue Steel, my Blue Bolt Blue Steel mix. So I think this is a good one to try on, because there's literally hundreds and hundreds of babies in here. So let's get our leaf in here. You can see it on the leaf as well. See all the biofilm? Some of it's coming off. You can see it all there. Fingers crossed that settles here, so we can observe. And already immediately the shrimp are going onto it. You see them? It's like they're little zombies onto a corpse. Like, feed me, feed me. But I think shrimp are finely tuned into feeding and hunting for biofilm because of the elements within biofilm. It's full of protein, sheatin, etc. We've talked about this before. You can see already the shrimp are going crazy for this. Within 5 minutes, this will be all the shrimp in here will probably be on the sleeve. This is maybe something that we should do more often as a normal part of our shrimp breeding. Adding some more biofilm. What's interesting here, guys, is this little Missouri crown in here. I don't have any red shrimp in here, but there's a red Missouri crown. Very, very interesting. Right, so what I'll do, guys, is tomorrow morning when I get up, we're leaving about 5 o'clock in the morning, because the place that we're going is about a 5 or 6 hour drive. I will come in here and I'll add these leaves to these tanks. Okay, it's kind of the same idea as you see here with these blue really on here, but this leaf here is infused with biofilm that we've made ourselves, right? So you can do this too. Just refer to the start of this video, and that is what I do when I go on holiday for a few days. You could probably do this for weeks as well. You just have to add more leaves to the tank. Right, as I said to you before, the biofilm, it won't go off because it's a living thing. It's like a living bacteria, algae mass that is trying to decompose the leaf. Alright, and that's what the shrimp eat. That's what they live on while you're gone. Okay, so leave me a huge thumbs up if that's been of some help. I know it will have helped a lot of you, because this is the time of year when all of you go on holiday. Alright, so if you're a shrimpaholic like me, give me a massive thumbs up. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Happy shrimp keeping.